Greetings family. June Allen here, your racial sobriety mentor from juneallen.net. So today I want to share with you a healing hack, a healing hack that I use very often. And I also shared it with the ladies in my mastermind this weekend. Because some of them were struggling with having to make difficult decisions, some of them were struggling with self-doubt and all this kind of stuff around some decisions that they've made. So I shared this hack with them because I just found it so, I've used it so many times in my life when I've had to make difficult decisions or have difficult conversations or having to do something that I'm really scared about, and it really, really worked. So this is what I call emotional bookending, Emotional bookending. So what happens in the process is that I will arrange with somebody that I trust, somebody that that I already have a really good relationship with, that can hold me through difficult conversations, and I will make an arrangement to have a conversation with them before I make the decision or have the conversation or set the boundary or whatever the difficult thing is, and I will also make an arrangement to speak to them afterwards. Now, the reason why this is powerful is because if having the conversation before I actually do the difficult thing that I need to do, it helps to release anxiety. It helps me to understand any negative thinking that's going on. It helps just to release any of that icky stuff that happens before, all that stuff that happens before you do something that's really difficult. And also, when you're changing and growing, especially if you just started doing this work or you've not been doing this work very long, change can be really painful, and having to make difficult decisions or having to set new boundaries and stuff like that can feel really, really hard. So having somebody to talk to share that stuff with, to offload all of that anxiety, the negative thinking, the old patterns, the fear, all of that kind of stuff, get all of that stuff out in the conversation. And you can also think about some healthy ways to actually have that conversation as well. So you do that before you actually have the conversation. Then you also have another conversation afterwards, when you've actually done the difficult thing. You call the same person back and you say, this is what happened, this is how I felt, this is how it went, this is what went well, this is what I could improve, all of that kind of, just give yourself permission to kind of dissect it and talk it through. Then it give you an opportunity to kind of, see where you can maybe do it better next time. This is not an opportunity for you to beat yourself up or anything like that. This is just you being compassionate to, stepping into a new part of yourself, This is you learning how to show up. So the second phone call also is important, because sometimes when we set new boundaries, with people, or we have to have difficult conversations, we go into guilt, and we might feel shame, and we might feel embarrassed, and we're like, oh God, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I should have done this, and maybe I'll go back and tell them, oh no, I didn't mean it, or whatever it is. You don't want to do that. You don't really want to do that. That's just the fear, what I call afterburn. This is the afterburn after you've had that difficult conversation. And sometimes, a lot of us, when we first start setting boundaries, it's so painful for us to kind of sit with the discomfort of actually doing something opposite to what you're normally doing, that it's really hard to sit with those feelings. So having that second conversation with the person who you spoke to at the beginning is really going to help you to kind of sit with those feelings and get support around the afterburn of that conversation, So that is really, really important, that you sit and hold those feelings and just unpick them. What's the origin of it? Where did those feelings come from? Where is the negative thinking coming from? If you think that person's going to think badly of you, who's saying that? Is it your voice, or is it somebody else? Is it a parent? Is it, when you start to unpick where a lot of that stuff comes from, where the feelings come from, it's easy for you to just sit with yourself and just sit with the fact with, I've set a boundary, I've had a difficult conversation, it needed to be done, and just allow yourself to receive and be held, be held through that afterburn, and that's it. So emotional bookending is a really, really powerful technique that I use all the time, and it's a really good way of actually building a relationship with the other person as well. It builds trust, it builds because you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. But make sure, obviously, you're having the conversation with somebody that can hold you through that. So that is today's healing hack. If you want more healing hacks, you can go to what am I talking about? You can go to heal.juneallen.net. That's heal.juneallen.net. That's heal.juneallen.net. And you can find more details of how you can get hold of more healing hacks there. All right? Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.